The camera pans over a futuristic high-tech school campus. Metallic spires gleam in the light of distant suns. And students from various alien species roam the corridors, their footsteps leaving traces of glow on the floor. Alex, a human barely, taller than a Pomeranian on a good day, nervously steps into the center of it all. It's his first day at the prestigious Intergalactic Academy of Higher Learning. And to say he's feeling out of place would be like calling a black hole a little dense. Alex adjusts his slightly askew backpack, his eyes darting from one alien student to another, each stranger more bizarre than the last. There's the insectoid Zacaterth, standing 8 feet tall, arms twitching with nervous energy. And over there, a jellyfish-like creature pulses in and out of sync with the environment. Glowing in rhythmic waves like an overpriced nightclub decoration, Alex chuckles to himself. He's never been the tallest guy in the room, but today he's definitely the shortest. "Hey, Jimmy," Alex calls out, spotting a Varaxian student fiddling with the holographic display at the front of the classroom. The hologram flickers wildly as the Varaxian presses buttons with 8 massive clawed fingers. "You missed a spot on the display right there." Alex gestures sarcastically. "Yeah, the one with the puddle of sarcasm you spilled, the alien." Looks up, confused, his multifaceted eyes blinking in synchronized confusion. He doesn't get it. Of course he doesn't. How could a species this exotic possibly understand humor? "Right," Alex mutters under his breath. "Probably too advanced for sarcasm, huh?" Before the awkward tension can settle, the rest of the class enters. A Varaxian, over 10 feet tall, strolls into the room, towering over Alex as he tries to keep his head from spinning. The alien scans the room, and in a voice that sounds like it's been dipped in gravel, asks, "Human, are you ready for your academic trial?" Alex, trying to ignore the raised mandibles and buzzing antennae, leans back and crosses his arms. "Oh, definitely. I've been training for years. You know, mostly surviving Earth, dodging parking tickets and fast food drive-through mistakes. But yeah, sure, I'm ready. Hit me with your best shot." The Varaxian glares. "You speak in riddles, small one. You'll fail this trial. You cannot possibly comprehend what is about to occur." Alex raises an eyebrow, smirking. "Riddles, buddy. I grew up on Twitter. Riddles are like a mild Tuesday morning for me." So the whole class watches, waiting for the awkwardness to escalate. And oh, it will. The camera zooms out, revealing a sprawling, state-of-the-art campus that seems more like an industrial spaceship than an educational institute. A gigantic floating city, suspended by what looks like an invisible web of energy, hovers above a lush planetary surface. Hundreds of alien species bustle about, each more bizarre than the last. As holographic billboards flash advertisements in languages that Alex can barely process. This is the Intergalactic Academy of Higher Learning, where beings from across the cosmos come to learn about each other's cultures, exchange knowledge, and attempt to coexist without accidentally blowing up one another's planets. The Academy is renowned for its prestigious curriculum, which is ironically centered on studying one subject, humanity. The galaxy's most advanced minds study Earth's strange customs, human psychology, and for some unknown reason, the inexplicable phenomenon known as cat videos. Alex, standing near the entrance, squints at the oversized sign that reads, "Welcome to the future of learning, Earthling." He shudders. As the only human on campus, he knows this is going to be a ride. Inside the halls, it's like stepping into the lobby of a spaceship run by a very confused hotel concierge. At least 3 alien species pass by in every 5 seconds, and none of them seem remotely interested in explaining the rather bizarre educational institution they're all a part. A group of young Varaxians, their forearms and scaly skin reflecting the neon lights, rush past with their strange, wheezing laugh. Probably already planning to dissect Alex's Earth knowledge, like it's some ancient relic. One particular Varaxian seems fascinated by Alex's presence, staring at him like a rare specimen in a pet shop. His eyes blink sideways, which is unsettling to say the least. "First day?" the alien asks, his voice a wheezing croak, almost like a frog with a bad cold. Alex, trying to act casual, nods. "Yeah. First day." "Hey, so is this where you guys all learn how to have 4 arms and still mess up the paperwork. The Varaxian tilts his head, trying to process. Clearly, sarcasm isn't something they've mastered, and Alex already feels the weight of his cultural isolation. Ah, I see. Yes, Earthlings are unpredictable, the Varaxian says, and Alex can only assume it's meant as a compliment. A few yards ahead, a Zakatortha creature, resembling an overgrown praying mantis, sidesteps in front of him. Its glossy exoskeleton catching the light. It points at Alex's school-issued uniform and clicks its mandibles in confusion. Your clothes are incorrect. Right. Wait, when we're sick by it's a little why so I tag links into when sim where I so I why what's this song when we saw someone the song was that the Zakadirth asks, its voice vibrating as if speaking through a pair of broken speakers. Alex suppresses a laugh, his sarcasm kicking in. Oh, right. You must be wondering why I'm not wearing my intergalactic battle armor. Because Earth's just all about being a fashion icon with oversized spacesuits. The Zakadirth, utterly unamused, turns away and scuttles off with a series of sharp clicking sounds. Alex watches as the creature moves with impressive speed, feeling the awkward tension rise. This isn't just a school. It's an intergalactic petting zoo. And guess who's the main attraction? The human protagonist, Alex. Alex is, as previously noted, the only human enrolled at the academy, standing at a mere 5'6". He looks more like a nervous intern at an alien zoo than a student in an intergalactic institution. His reputation precedes him as something of an exotic subject, and there's a constant stream of whispers behind his back, likely about what strange human customs they'll have to endure in their Human 101. Of course, he's outnumbered. He's outclassed. He's underwhelming by alien standards. But what Alex lacks in height, he more than makes up for in sarcasm and quick wit. In a galaxy where everyone takes themselves a little too seriously, Alex's snark is the one thing he can control. As the day unfolds, Alex meets the Varaxians, the towering, battle-hardened warriors with exoskeletons so thick they could survive. A meteor shower. One of them, Turan, the Varaxian class leader, approaches Alex with a patronizing smile, almost as if Alex's human body could snap in half at any moment. You humans, Turan says, looking down at Alex like he's something stuck. To his boot are the wild card of the galaxy, the outliers. How do you survive in such primitive conditions? Alex smirks. Well, Turan, you see, we humans have this thing called adaptability. Ever heard of it? It's this nifty little trick where we don't die immediately in new environments. It's all about figuring things out, like how not to die the first time you try to open a door with your antennae. Turan blinks. There's that cultural gap again. Alex is having far too much fun. Are you mocking me? Turan growls, but there's a glimmer of confusion in his voice. Mocking? Alex shrugs, casually adjusting the straps of his backpack. Nah, I'm just explaining basic survival skills for your primitive species. The laughter bubbles up inside him. Ah! There's something wonderfully satisfying about turning their misguided expectations into fuel for his own sarcasm. It's the third day of classes at the Intergalactic Academy of Higher Learning, and things are starting to really go sideways for Alex. He's trying to blend in well. More like survive at this point, but it's increasingly difficult with a bunch of aliens who think they have a better grasp on human culture than he does. Spoiler alert, they don't. It all starts innocently enough during an interspecies etiquette class. The professor, an ancient stone-faced Riverian with 10 eyes and a face that looks like someone tried to turn an entire mountain range into a sentient rock, addresses the class. Today, we will study human dining habits, the professor states in a voice so deep it vibrates the floor. A simple yet fascinating subject. Humans eat with their mouths. However, the method varies greatly from species to species. Great. I get to watch a whole lecture on how to chew, Alex mutters, hoping the sarcasm will just fly under the radar, but no. The alien students are hanging on every word, eagerly scribbling notes with their antenna and telekinetic pens. Q, the Zacadirth. This particular student. A towering insectoid creature with elongated limbs and a metallic sheen. To its body, sidles up next to Alex. SKRNXX, as he's called. Has been staring at Alex for the better part of the class like he's some kind of rare insect specimen that might break into a song at any moment. Dots Krinex leans in, his compound eyes narrowing, his voice dripping with what can only be described as insexual condescension. You humans. So fragile, so easily crushed. I cannot fathom how you survive without proper exoskeletons. Alex chuckles. Oh. Yeah, I totally forgot that being human was a crime in your galaxy. My bad. He gives a mock salute, trying to keep his tone as light as possible. Thanks for the life lesson, by the way. I'll add it to my Surviving Insectoids 101 curriculum. Skronex tilts his head. You mock me, but I only speak truth. You are frail creatures. My people have evolved to be superior. Without your primitive fleshy skin, you would not survive. Yeah, I'm sure if I had a shiny, armored exoskeleton like yours, I'd be winning all the beauty pageants, Alex says, not missing a beat. Real showstopper material right there. Skirnex seems mildly offended, but he doesn't really understand the humor. After all, for a creature that can probably lift 5 tons and can't comprehend sarcasm, this is like getting hit by an asteroid made of confusion. Alex's day isn't getting any better. But during lunch break, he's sitting in the cafeteria, trying to navigate his food options. No, not alien food. Thank you very much. He's sticking with something he knows. Pizza. Suddenly, Gorlick, a 7-foot-tall Varaxian, shuffles over to his table. Human, Gorlick says, his voice booming. I've noticed something unusual with your eating habits. Allow me to correct this for you. Alex looks up, half distracted by the pizza that's suspiciously floating above his tray, thanks to the alien's telekinetic power. Oh, okay, Gorlick, you're starting to sound like the What Not to Wear show. What's the problem this time? Not enough hot sauce? Sauce, Gorlick says, clearly confused. No, this is about your chewing. You do it wrong. Alex freezes, pizza slice halfway to his mouth. Wait, I chew wrong? He sets the pizza down slowly, trying to process. Am I supposed to chew with my feet or something? Let me guess. You're going to show me the correct way to chew human food, right? Gorlick grins, showing off a set of sharp teeth. Exactly. The proper Varaxian way is to use your 4 mandibles to crush your food with precision. Allow me to demonstrate. The giant alien proceeds to pick up a slice of pizza, examining it, as though it's some rare specimen he's about to scientifically dissect. Then, with a swift, terrifying motion, Gorlick clamps down on the slice. But instead of chewing properly, he shreds the pizza to bits with his mandibles, spraying bits of cheese and sauce everywhere. See? Proper technique, Gorlick announces, proudly, utterly oblivious to the mess he's just made. Now, you try. I will watch and instruct you. Lex can only stare in disbelief. Oh my god, did you just destroy pizza? He deadpans. You know, Gorlick, for someone who's so advanced, you sure don't know how to appreciate the sacred art of pizza. You've turned it into a crime scene. Gorlick, completely unfazed, gestures for Alex to go ahead and try. The pressure is mounting. Clearly, if Alex doesn't do this right, it's going to be a massive alien faux pas. So, Alex reluctantly picks up his pizza slice and, well, tries to follow the mandible chewing method. What ensues is an absolute disaster. The pizza turns into an unrecognizable goo, and Alex ends up with mozzarella all over his face, looking like a child who was left unsupervised with a bowl of spaghetti. Oh, this is so wrong, Alex groans. This is like a public service announcement gone wrong. Chew your food properly, kids, or else you'll get covered in alien sauce. The surrounding aliens look on, utterly perplexed. To them, this is an important cultural lesson. To Alex, well, it's just a typical day of school. Gorlick looks disappointed. You failed. You did not use the mandibles correctly. This is how we Viraxians eat. Yeah, and we humans just stick with the whole chew with your teeth thing. It's much cleaner. Alex swipes the last of the pizza mess from his face, standing up from the table. Thanks for the advice, but I think I'll stick to my primitive methods. Also, can someone get me a napkin? Or, wait, what do you guys use? Wipe your face with your tail? Is that an alien thing? Gorlick stares blankly, processing the sarcasm, and once again, Alex wins. By default, back in class. Alex can't escape the constant misunderstandings of his fellow students. The professor begins a new discussion about human fashion, asking the students to list the most common human attire. Naturally, Alex offers his expertise. Well, most humans wear these things called t-shirts and jeans, he explains. Dryly, but I'm sure your advanced civilizations have something more breathable, like exoskeletal plating for social events. One of the aliens, a small, rotund creature covered in fine feathers, raises its hand. What is this jeans you speak of? Alex squints. Jeans. Right, it's this fabric humans love, kind of like body armor, except a lot less effective against lasers and space-time rips. The alien nods thoughtfully. So humans wear armor against the cold? Fascinating. Totally, Alex deadpans. We've got to protect ourselves from the big bad threat known as wind, and so Alex navigates this strange new world, one hilarious, awkward misunderstanding at a time. The atmosphere in the classroom shifts as Varlock, a snobbish, overconfident alien, stands up to address Alex. Varlock is a towering figure, almost 12 feet tall, with glowing blue skin and sharp, angular features that make him look like he's perpetually annoyed. He's one of the top students in the class and clearly feels that his alien intellect is far superior to anything a human could offer. He has the air of someone who believes that being big and imposing automatically makes him the smartest person in the room. And today, he's decided to teach Alex a lesson. Varlock looks down at Alex, corners of his mouth curling into what can only be described as an arrogant smirk. Human, he says, his voice dripping with disdain. I've been observing you. Your species seems to lack any true intellectual prowess. You have no true collective will or sense of unity. You simply muddle through your existence. Alex, who's been listening to Varlock drone on about how great his species is, can't help but roll his eyes. Yeah, right, Alex mutters under his breath, but Varlock's keen hearing picks it up. His eyes narrow, and a wicked grin spreads across his face. I've heard enough of your sarcasm. It's clear that you believe yourself to be an equal. So, I challenge you, Varlock declares, to a test of skills. If you can prove that you possess any level of intelligence or teamwork, I'll admit that humans are more than just amusing little creatures. Alex stands up, cracking his knuckles in an exaggerated manner. Oh, sure, Varlock. You've got your fancy laser brains and your impressive brawn. Meanwhile, we've got Netflix and pizza. What's your civilization got that tops that? The rest of the class falls silent. The aliens around him don't fully understand his sarcasm, but they know there's something about the way Alex speaks that they find weirdly amusing. Wait for Varlock to respond, clearly thinking that Alex has no chance against such a superior alien. Varlock scoffs. You underestimate us, human. I assure you we will expose the weakness of your kind. Prepare yourself. The challenge is set. The aliens want to test Alex's intellect and ability to collaborate, convinced that he will fail miserably. The first suggestion comes from Jakari, a gelatinous alien who's all about problem-solving and efficient task management. Human Jakari says in a voice that oozes with self-importance, "We've seen how you humans create things like, what do you call them? Paper airplanes. Show us your creativity with a task that requires precision and teamwork." Looks at the alien like he's just been asked to solve a Rubik's Cube in the middle of a hurricane. Paper airplanes? Really? All right. I'll play along. Give me a piece of paper. Jakari extends a translucent appendage and hands Alex a sheet of paper. He folds it into swift motions, much to the shock of the aliens, and then tosses the paper airplane across the room. It soars, and the alien students, all watching in awe, are impressed partially because they had no idea humans were capable of such precision. Look at that, Alex says with a smirk. I made it fly. You know, this is how humans invented flight. With a couple of paper scraps and some basic hand-eye coordination. But Varlock, clearly not impressed, scoffs again. This is meaningless. It's just a simple trick, human. You've shown no real teamwork. Oh, you want teamwork, Varlock, Alex says with a wink. How about this? Alex turns to the rest of the class, clearly ready to play them at their own game. All right, you guys want a real challenge? Let's do something you've probably never heard of. Scavenger hunt for snacks. The aliens blink in confusion. A hunt for what? Snacks, Alex repeats, as if it's the most obvious thing in the world. You know, small, edible items that humans use to sustain themselves during work or school. We're talking chips, candy bars, and all the good stuff. You guys have probably never had a Twinkie, right? The aliens look bewildered, but Alex isn't done. All right, here's the challenge. You've got 10 minutes to find as many hidden snacks as possible. In this cafeteria, whoever finds the most wins. And no, I'm not talking about just grabbing something from the lunch counter. You've got to find the hidden treasures. The aliens exchange uncertain glances. This is a human activity they've never even heard of, let alone understood. But they don't want to back down now. They accept the challenge, and the clock starts ticking as the aliens scramble. Alex sits back in his chair, calmly sipping on a drink as the chaos around him ensues. Scornex, the insectoid alien, is already frantically searching under tables and chairs with his multiple arms, trying to find something edible. Varlock is in the corner, using his telekinetic powers to lift objects off the shelves, trying to spot something that might qualify as a snack. They're clearly out of their depth. Alex, however, remains cool and collected. He already knows where the snacks are hidden. He's spent enough time in the cafeteria to learn where they stash the good stuff. As the aliens struggle to locate anything of value, Alex casually strolls around, finding every snack in sight. He picks up chocolate bars, bags of chips, and a suspiciously large amount of gummy bears hidden under napkins and behind the vending machines. When the timer runs out, the aliens gather around, just looking at their meager collections, mostly scraps and half-eaten leftovers from their previous attempts. Alex, on the other hand, stands proudly in the center of the room, holding an armful of snacks. Looks like I win, guys, Alex says with a grin, because you know, humans are really good at making things work when we don't have fancy powers or overcomplicated strategies. We just survive. Varlock stares at him in disbelief as if this is a trick. You cheated? Cheated. Alex raises an eyebrow, clearly amused. Nah, I just know how to make things happen. You guys were looking for answers in all the wrong places. The aliens start to realize that they underestimated him. Not only did he play their game, but he did it in a way they couldn't have possibly predicted using his human ability to think outside the box, a skill they had never considered. They start to regret thinking so little of humans. Alex crosses his arms and adds with a grin, "You guys need to learn how to think like a human. It's not about being smarter or stronger. It's about being resourceful." As the days go on, Alex finds himself becoming more comfortable with the aliens around him. Even though they continue to misunderstand him and Earth culture at nearly every turn, it's almost as if each day offers a new opportunity for Alex to shatter their preconceived ideas about humans with the help of his sharp wit and sarcasm. He's no longer just a curiosity. They're beginning to see him as an actual competitor, one who doesn't fit into the little box they've prepared for him. The turning point arrives during an interspecies discussion on Earth's most advanced technologies, a class led by Professor Theric, a highly intelligent but somewhat condescending Xantothian who has dedicated his life to studying Earth's technological advancements. As expected, the class is full of snarky remarks from the aliens, who think they already know everything about humanity. Their knowledge is vast when it comes to planetary engineering, advanced weaponry, and hypertransportation. But when the topic shifts to Earth, They begin to show their true ignorance. Now, let us turn our attention to Earth, Professor Therick announces, in his deep, resonating voice. The planet of humans. Tell us, Alex, what would you say is your most advanced technology? Alex is prepared for this moment. He's heard these questions before. Walians have a weird obsession with human advancements, but they never seem to grasp the beauty of the simplest things humans have perfected. With a casual grin, Alex raises his hand. Oh, sure. I'd say Earth's greatest invention is Wi-Fi. Alex begins, playing the room like a pro, you know. This little thing we call Wi-Fi, it's a whole network that connects us all. Yeah, no big deal. We use it to watch videos of cats doing weird stuff and, share memes. It's like a force field of convenience. Nerm falls silent and the aliens blink at him in utter confusion. Varlock, ever the skeptic, scoffs. From the back of the room, Wi-Fi. Is this some primitive method of communication? It sounds laughable. Alex leans back in his chair, casually stretching his arms. Oh, absolutely. Primitive. But it connects people over vast distances. No wires, no cables, no exploding planets or death rays. He smirks at Varlock's unimpressed expression. Sure, go ahead. You can tell me about your planet-busting laser beams if you're done asking us about how to high-five each other. Spoiler alert, it's with our hands. The aliens are visibly perplexed. None of them understand how such a simple concept could be so powerful. Varlock in particular looks like he's trying to process the entire idea of Wi-Fi as though Alex had just revealed the secret to the universe. Wi-Fi? Varlock repeats slowly. Your species relies on this, and it's more advanced than our planetary shields or hyperdrive technology? Alex can't help but laugh. Hey, if your shields can't stop a bunch of cat videos from distracting you, then maybe we have the edge after all. Professor Therick raises a tentacle, signaling for calm. Seems we have much to learn about human ingenuity, but the question remains. How do you sustain your species without such advanced technology? Alex raises an eyebrow. You think we need advanced tech to survive? Look, it's not always about lasers and shields. Sometimes it's about thinking on your feet and defining ways to make things work with what you've got. You don't need a laser to take down a vending machine when you're starving. You just need a little bit of resourcefulness. Varlock, still trying to process the entire conversation, mutters something under his breath. This is illogical. Why? No, Alex says, leaning forward with a mock-serious tone. But I'm a human. Logic is kind of optional for us. As the weeks continue, Alex's antics begin to wear down the alien's initial arrogance. Varlock, in particular, finds himself growing frustrated as Alex outsmarts him at nearly every turn. His assumptions about human inferiority are slowly being crushed by the sheer unpredictability of Alex's behavior. The aliens are starting to realize that Alex isn't just some weak, fragile creature. He's proving that humans possess something more valuable than physical strength or advanced technology: adaptability. The human capacity to find solutions to problems, think on their feet, and use sarcasm as a weapon is more powerful than any fancy alien tech. One day, as the class breaks for lunch, Varlock approaches Alex. His usual smugness is replaced by something closer to embarrassment, clears his throat before speaking. Alex, I've been thinking. Varlock begins, his voice much softer than usual. I may have been wrong about your species. Alex, who's been enjoying a snack of his own, doesn't miss a beat. Oh, the mighty Varlock, admitting defeat. This is a moment I'm going to cherish forever. Varlock ignores the sarcasm and continues. Your abilities are impressive. You have shown that humans are capable of far more than I originally thought. I apologize for underestimating you. Alex raises an eyebrow, feigning shock. Let me get this straight. Are you saying that the all-powerful Varlock is admitting that maybe, just maybe, humans are pretty resourceful? What's next? Are you going to hand me an award or something? Varlock looks uncomfortable but manages to hold out a small object. It's a shiny, smooth rock, glowing faintly with an otherworldly energy. This, he says awkwardly, is an intergalactic peace token, a gift from me to you. It symbolizes the respect I now have for your species. Alex stares at the rock, then back at Varlock. A rock? He says with mock excitement. Wow, I've always wanted one of these. What does it do? Does it explode when I make the wrong joke? No. Varlock replies stiffly. It is a symbol of my respect. Accept it. Alex, unable to resist, takes the rock with a grin. Well, thank you, Varlock. Be sure to add it to my collection of alien things. If you ever need help figuring out how to make a pizza or deal with awkward peace offerings, just let me know. Varlock nods solemnly, clearly not understanding the humor, but the rest of the class begins to chuckle. Seeing the transformation in their leader, and they're beginning to realize that maybe, just maybe, Alex has something to teach them after all. As Varlock walks away, the other students seem less eager to challenge him, and some even approach Alex, offering their own apologies. The respect is there, even if it's still wrapped in layers of alien misunderstanding. The day of the final test of human intelligence arrives. It's the day when all the alien students, and Alex by extension, will compete in a series of challenges designed to showcase each species' intellectual abilities, creativity, and survival skills. For the aliens, this test is supposed to be a formality. They believe that no human could possibly excel in this environment. They've already seen Alex's resourcefulness, but now it's time to put it all to the test. Professor Therick stands before the class, his tentacles twitching. In excitement, today he begins. He will determine once and for all if humans truly possess the mental faculties required to be taken seriously in the galactic community. This competition will challenge you in ways that test both intellect and adaptability. Prepare yourselves. His voice has that ominous, almost foreboding tone, and Alex can't help but smile. If there's one thing humans excel at, it's turning chaos into victory. The first event is a survival challenge, a simulated scenario, where each participant must navigate a hostile alien environment and find a way to survive. The aliens seem confident. Varlock in particular looks smug as ever, his towering presence exuding superiority. Alex, on the other hand, is having a hard time hiding his amusement. He's already seen how these highly advanced aliens handle even basic human activities. There's no way they're ready for something as unpredictable as thinking on their feet. The simulation begins. Each student is placed into a small, holographic environment designed to mimic one of the harshest planets in the galaxy. The room around them changes, turning into a desolate, rocky desert with two suns beating down on them. Digital voice booms from the speakers. You are stranded on the planet Vardanine. A world of extreme heat, powerful dust storms, and dangerous predators. Your task is to survive for 24 hours without the use of advanced technology or outside help. Alex shrugs and adjusts his shirt as if it's just another day at school. The aliens are already starting to panic, reaching for gadgets they don't have. They try using their telekinetic abilities, but the environment is designed to block any such powers. Meanwhile, Alex stands there, hands in his pockets, observing his surroundings with a grin. All right, time to do what humans do best, he mutters to himself. Think. Varlock, sweating under his armor, seems to be the first to lose his cool. This is preposterous, he roars. I require cooling systems. This is an affront to my species' technological superiority. Yeah, Alex calls over. A little less time complaining, and a little more surviving would do wonders. He winks at Varlock, who is now glaring daggers at him. As the clock ticks down, Alex begins his plan. He notices the scattered debris around the simulated desert boulders, sticks, broken equipment. While the other students stand frozen, unsure of what to do, Alex moves toward a pile of rocks and starts gathering them. The aliens stare, bewildered. What is he doing? Jakari, the gelatinous creature, asks, in a whisper. I think he's trying to make a shelter. SKRNX, the insectoid, replies, but it's useless. The heat is unbearable. No shelter will protect him. Alex, with a cocky grin, doesn't waste any time. He constructs a makeshift shelter using the rocks and debris. It's primitive by any means, but it works. He hides. Underneath it, out of the direct sunlight, using his shirt as a rudimentary filter for the dust storm that begins to blow through the environment. "Oh no," Varlock mutters, looking over at Alex's quick progress. "He can't possibly survive. We've been trained for this. Humans don't know how to adapt to harsh environments like we do." But Alex isn't just surviving, he's thriving. As the others scramble, trying to create tools or make shelters that will do nothing in the harsh conditions, Alex continues to build, taking a few sticks and using them to set up a system that will collect water from the air. It's a simple trick, but it works. He has a little container of water by the time the simulation ends. The aliens, meanwhile, are still trying to figure out their high-tech gadgets, which are completely ineffective in the environment. Varlock finally succumbs to the heat, his armor overheating and forcing him to retreat to the simulated shade of a barely adequate shelter. "All right," Alex says, sipping from his makeshift water filter. "The trick is knowing when to use your brain and when to stop waiting for things to magically work out," he smiles, turning to Varlock. "Maybe next time you should bring a fan with you instead of a laser beam." After surviving the first event with ease, Alex finds himself in the next round, a mental puzzle challenge. Designed to test intellectual agility and problem-solving skills, the aliens' brains work differently, more analytically than humans, and they rely heavily on logic and patterns. The humans, however, are known for their creativity, especially under pressure. The puzzle consists of a series of complicated equations, alien symbols and riddles that are intended to stump the participants. The aliens dive in headfirst, using their advanced knowledge of their own species' technologies, but they quickly become bogged down by the complexity of the task. They're used to calculations, not the unpredictable nature of human creativity. Meanwhile, Alex stands up from his seat, looking at the puzzle and casually pulling out a pen and notebook he had stashed in his pocket. He scribbles down a few basic calculations, pauses, and then, in a moment of pure comedic inspiration, starts doodling in the margins of the puzzle sheet. His solution? Well, it's not exactly what the aliens expect. Instead of solving the puzzle directly, Alex finds a shortcut by simplifying the equation to something more practical, like how to get two of the most powerful aliens in the room to accidentally compete against each other over an irrelevant part of the challenge. What's Alex's secret weapon? Its ability to manipulate the situation to his advantage? In the end, the aliens waste their time, and Alex casually finishes the task by turning the puzzle into a joke. He simply solves it backwards, cutting out the complicated parts and using simple logic to render the whole thing laughable. Problem-solving at its finest. Alex says with a grin, "Who knew? Just had to think outside the box, literally." The alien students begin to realize that Alex's ability to manipulate the circumstances with his wit and resourcefulness has far exceeded their expectations. As the final test comes to an end, it's clear Alex has won. The aliens particularly. Varlock stands stunned as they watch him walk past them, his confidence growing with every step. Professor Therick nods solemnly, acknowledging the undeniable truth. "Well done, Alex. You've proven that humans possess something far more valuable than just advanced technology or strength. You've shown that adaptability, creativity, and the ability to think under pressure can truly be the deciding factor. In a challenge like this," Varlock, unable to contain his frustration, finally steps forward, his towering presence seeming to shrink in comparison to Alex's quiet, smug confidence. You humans are unpredictable," he admits, looking more than a little uncomfortable. "I underestimated you. You've earned my respect," Alex grins. "Oh, don't worry, Varlock. I'm used to being underestimated." He extends his hand. "But I'll accept that apology now. Maybe we can have some pizza to celebrate, the traditional human victory feast." Varlock doesn't understand the joke, but he nods, awkwardly accepting the handshake. As Alex leaves the competition area, the other aliens follow him, each offering their own awkward but sincere form of respect. For Alex, it's just another day of turning alien assumptions upside down. For the aliens, it's a lesson in humility and an understanding that sometimes survival doesn't always require the latest technology or superior intellect. just takes the ability to adapt. And a little bit of humor along the way. As the final test concludes and the day winds down, the atmosphere around Alex shifts. The once judgmental stares from his alien peers have softened into something unfamiliar. Respect. It's not the kind of respect that comes with grand gestures or elaborate speeches, but a more subtle acknowledgement of Alex's capabilities and resourcefulness. In the course of just a few days, the aliens have gone from seeing him as a weak, primitive creature to recognizing the true power behind the human spirit, adaptability, humor, and an uncanny ability to think on his feet. Alex is casually packing up his things, humming to himself when Varlock approaches him. The towering alien who had once mocked him for his species' weakness now stands awkwardly in front of him, his usual smugness replaced by a hesitant, almost apologetic demeanor. Alex Varlock begins, his voice low and steady. I owe you an apology? Alex, who had been about to make a sarcastic remark, raises an eyebrow. Wait, hold on, did the mighty Varlock just apologize? This is a first. He crosses his arms and leans back, clearly enjoying the moment. Varlock shifts uncomfortably. Yes, I underestimated you. I thought humans were inferior, incapable of anything more than primitive actions, but you have proven me wrong. You've earned my respect. At this, the other alien students, who had been listening quietly, nod in agreement. There's an uncomfortable silence, as if they're not entirely sure how to express this newfound respect. Some of them, like Jakari, the gelatinous alien, seem to be struggling with the concept of apologizing. But they all realize the truth. Alex has not only survived their tests, but has also turned the tables on their assumptions about humanity. Alex, taking in the awkward tension and realizing just how hard this apology must be for them, can't help but let out a low chuckle. Well, the aliens are admitting they were wrong. What a day. He looks at Varlock, who is still staring down at him with an unusual level of humility. You know, Varlock, no worries. I don't hold grudges. Just don't try to teach me advanced logic again. I think I'm good with the whole human survival thing. Varlock blinks, still trying to process Alex's humor. I understand. And again, ... I apologize. You were right. We were wrong. A few of the other aliens, including SKR, NXX, and Gorlick, start to mumble their own apologies. Scornex, the insectoid alien, fumbles through his words. We ... we did not understand your ... methods, but ... you proved that ... Humans have strengths we did not foresee. Gorlick, who had been one of the most vocal in his criticisms of Alex, steps forward. Yes, Alex, I admit that you've outsmarted us at every turn. Your ... resourcefulness was impressive. I did not think it possible for a species to survive on so little and still come out on top. Alex grins and gives a mock bow.
Thank you.
I do pride myself on making the best of a bad situation. Let's be real here. Surviving on Earth isn't all that different from surviving in a room full of judgmental aliens. Adaptability is key. Aliens exchange uncertain looks, clearly still trying to grasp his humor. But it's clear that they're beginning to understand the point he's making. It's SKRNX, tall insectoid, who finally seems to get it. You ... Humans are resilient, he says, almost to himself, his voice filled with awe. You bend the rules, break them, and yet ... you survive. You find ways to make the impossible possible. Alex, sensing the mood shift, takes a deep breath and leans forward slightly. Yeah, and that's the thing. We humans don't always have the best gadgets or the biggest brains, but we're really good at making it work. That's why we're still here, you know? We laugh at the stuff that should make us crumble. And most importantly, we never give up. And we never take ourselves too seriously. The aliens, while still unsure of his unorthodox way of speaking, nod, starting to grasp the deeper message he's trying to convey. At this point, Varlock speaks again, but this time there's a real sincerity in his tone. Alex, you have taught us more than we expected. I regret my actions, and I am sorry for underestimating your species. Perhaps we have a lot to learn from you. Regret? Oh, come on, Varlock, Alex says with a smirk. Let's just call it misunderstanding. Happens to the best of us. Plus, it's not every day I get to show a room full of aliens how to properly survive, and with humor, no less. SKRNXX suddenly leans in, his compound eyes wide with curiosity. Alex, tell us more about Earth. How do you humans survive such an unforgiving planet, it seems? ... Beyond our understanding. Alex pauses, then glances around the room at the eager, alien faces. They're not mocking him now. They're genuinely interested. The aliens have begun to realize that humanity's greatest asset isn't just our technology or our strength. It's our spirit, the ability to thrive no matter what life throws. Our way. With a shrug and a mischievous grin, Alex responds, well, humans have this magical ability called humor. It's like a shield that helps us through the worst of things. Sometimes, it's the only thing we've got. If we can laugh at the craziness of life, we can survive anything. Plus, we're great at turning the worst situations into something a little bit more manageable. You guys should try it sometime. Oh. Room is silent for a moment before Gorlick finally speaks. I will try, he says, his voice unsure but genuine. Perhaps I will start by laughing at myself. It seems ... necessary. Alex's eyes twinkle with amusement. The spirit, Gorlick. Remember, it's all about not taking yourself too seriously. You've got to have some fun, or life just turns into one long, miserable trip through space. The aliens, despite their confusion and awkwardness, begin to chuckle. It's a moment of true connection between humans and aliens, one based on the universal truth that laughter can transcend cultures and species. As the conversation winds down, Alex stands up, ready to leave the room. Well, this has been fun, guys. I've got some new friends, some weird souvenirs, and a ton of very valuable life lessons. You've all learned something today. Just don't go trying to teach me advanced logic again, all right? The aliens, still a little unsure of his humor, nod in understanding. As Alex walks out of the room, he can hear them still whispering to one another, discussing what they've learned about humanity. There's no longer any doubt in their minds. Humans might not have the biggest brains or the most powerful technology, but they've got something that's impossible to ignore: their resilience, their creativity, and the ability to laugh in the face of adversity. As Alex walks away from the group of aliens, leaving them to ponder the deeper meaning of human resilience, he turns back to the camera, his grin widening. The moment feels like a victory, because for once, the aliens are the ones who have learned something. He raises a hand in a casual wave, as if the entire intergalactic situation had just been a minor inconvenience. All right, I'll admit it, Alex says, giving the camera a knowing look. That was fun. Who knew that a few snarky remarks and an unhealthy obsession with snacks could win me intergalactic respect? He chuckles to himself, shaking his head. Psst. But seriously, though, what's the most ridiculous misunderstanding you've ever had with someone from another culture? Maybe they thought your thumbs up meant something else, or you accidentally offended someone by looking at them too long. Whatever it is, drop it in the comments below. I'm curious. And, if you're an alien, let's just agree too. Never meet in the cafeteria, all right? No hard feelings? Alex pauses, leaning into the camera a little more seriously. Although his trademark sarcastic smirk never fades, you know. Humans might not always have the fancy gadgets or the space age tech, but when we're pushed too far, we hit back with sarcasm and a snack break. I mean, really, it's all about knowing how to adapt, or in my case, using a pizza slice as a weapon. He grins, glancing at the camera again. Trust me, it's an art form. He shrugs dramatically, as if the point is obvious. Don't ever underestimate us, folks. We might not have intergalactic battle armor or planet-busting lasers, but we'll outwit you. We'll outsmart you, and we'll do it with a snack in one hand and a sarcastic quip in the other. Alex looks directly into the camera now, his playful tone shifting just slightly to something more genuine. So here's the deal. If you enjoyed watching me mess with some aliens, like this video, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button for more sci-fi humor. HFY stories and, well, you know space pizza, because who doesn't love a good sci-fi laugh? Every now and then, he winks. We've got plenty more stories coming your way. Trust me, next time, I'm definitely not going to be the one getting underestimated. Alex gives one final knowing nod, then walks off screen, leaving the aliens to reflect on their newfound respect for humanity. The camera lingers for a moment on the empty room, the sound of alien murmurs echoing in the background. Then, the screen fades to black,